Sherbot is Loomian Legacy's first ice type able to be found in the wild. Although its design looks like it was made in no more than 2 days, people in the community still love the penguin. But Sherbot's presence in the competitive metagame exposes a common theme in LL's balance throughout its history. Today I'll be explaining why Sherbot and more are counted by almost every single tournament team. I will be talking about patch 0.4.1b, and I will be using statistics from I8YourServer, which I will be referring to from now on as EatCord. Sherbot on release had very mixed feelings within the community. Its 4 times weakness to fighting and fire is enough to deter somebody from the penguin in seconds. However, some were interested in its uses as a setup sweeper, with access to Peace of Mind, Slush Rush, and most of all its signature move, Out of Order. Out of Order is a 150 base power move with a downside of 60 energy and the inability to use it twice in a row. But this move is actually bugged on release. You could use it as many times as you wanted in a row, so people could just forget about its downsides. Access to a move of that power consistently was surely enough to get usage on every team in the color, right? In practice, this Loomian seems great. Its metal typing is heavily appreciated on many teams in the metagame. It has strong coverage and gesturing to hit the fire and fighting types on the switch in, and if you didn't mind giving up Slush Rush, you could zip up on any war type that attempted to wall you with your 2 stabs. In theory, this Loomian had everything it needed, but in practice, most tourney teams would just tell you to forget it. Recently, LO's competitive scene has been dominated by a certain 2 Loomian core. You know him, you hate him, but you still use him. I'm talking about Obsidian plus Pyrolin. I can tell you right now that any start to a great team is just to add these 2 and try to create a team from there. In recent equal tournaments, Pyrolin and Obsidian have a match usage of 45.61% on every team. I'm not going to go into specifics on why this core is so great, but basically Pyrolin's massive HP stat allows it to take any hit, but most people tend to use it as a ranged defensive Loomian, and any physical attacks heading its way it would just tank with Obsidian. It would get a melee defense stat boost when hit, basically forcing the physical attacker on the other side out into a ranged offensive Loomian, and I think you know where the rest is going. Seriously, if you've ever wondered why any Loomian is NU, these 2 are a pretty good start. Now, Loomian Army is able to counter the 2 if positioned correctly, explaining its number 4 usage, but gets using number 3 to take advantage of Loomian Army's Flash and Flee or majorly useless Hydro Slashes. Tartab, using boost sets in an attempt to out-offense the opposing team or bar the boost onto opposing Obsidians that dare switch into its jungle jutsus. Sherbot has insane strength to take advantage of, but Pyrolin is just everywhere now. LL is known to only really be able to balance the game by adding Loomians that can counter said Loomian. In this case, Pyrolin already walls Sherbot's stabs, but as a slap in the face, it has Fanning Flame, making its amazing gesturing coverage useless. Tyrex has top 3 usage in EatCord's history, but the second Zulon got access to Fire Breath, Tyrex is nowhere to be seen in the top 20 in the recent usage stats, while Zulon gets top 5 usage. Tyrex had a massive niche in completely countering Zulon, but the second it couldn't, it was just in the bin. And as for every Loomian at the bottom of the usage stats, such as Guardian, Luxor, Simabito, Ventation, Whippledrift, Harvest, Harley Bunch, Avitrosh, Mocho, and many more, they're just stuffed out by the combination of Pyrolin plus Obsidian, preventing any sort of tech to exist in the game right now. It's no question that we've entered a meta filled with stall or semi-stall. Hyper Offense got a debuff with barbs becoming less effective against threats such as Stratosaur, but have gotten no real buff in return. This is evident in Garbodemic and Deladrix's drop to UU. Despite Deladrix having no real counters on the offensive, he just can't find value from it, as it can't switch in a whole lot and put on pressure similar to how Obsidian and other store staples can. And if you really want bobs, just use Gargolem D. It will last you the whole game and can deforce anything trying to set up. You can't even poison it, as it will always have immunized. Sherbot is an amazing Loomian who in theory should thrive in the metagame with respectable weaknesses to stop it from being overpowered, but the truth is we will never see new Loomians truly become good unless you get access to more Loomians that are able to tone down the usage of the Obsidian Pyrolin core that is being used the most today. Atlantia Part 2 will be bringing more sea life to the game, but will it be enough to wash out the 2 behemoths that rule today's metagame? Only time will tell. Like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you think this form of balancing is okay or not. Have a nice day.